Alright, you guys, what's going on? So I'm going to talk over today about SPY and the Amazon swing that I took. We see a gap that needs to be filled around this section. This is exactly, if you put a whole square in here, this is exactly where we are right now on SPY, right? This basically your supply, but on the 4 hour, something you want to see is that there's a gap level right around there, right here, look, right there. This little gap that needs to be filled on the 4 hour. Besides that, if we do flush below this level at 404, we come back down all the way to maybe 401, 398, 397, right? But something you do want to see what happened when the market rallied was this bullish engulfing here, bullish engulfing candle. We told you the next day was going to be green, came out green, and now we're still here at a shooting star. This is called a shooting star. Usually when this happens, you get another red coming in for the next day somewhere around here, something like that. And the only way you could catch that move is either you swing, but since we have news coming in tomorrow, I only swung Nvidia for puts on the Discord, and so far I do want to get a 400 put. We might come back down to bounce and then come back up, right? So far it's not looking too bearish yet, but this could do this and then come back up and break out of that gap. That gap today on the 15-minute recheck did get filled. That 400 level, it actually opened up above over it, right? Obviously today the market opened, you could see I had broke above it, and for me, what I was waiting, I wanted to get some calls, so I ended up waiting at the open, right? I waited at the open. You can see how choppy it is. I expected a move to come back down and then bounce up to try to fill in that gap to see what happens. I entered a put right at this section right here. I saw this coming up, volume was decreasing, so I got in first light position, and then I added more again at the same position. You see how it almost gave you the same candle, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. I added more to this one and it created a double top. So you can see it did a double top here, down, and then dropped. And it just continued to flush all the way to 400. Back to the open. So we got those puts, made over 50%. Our entry was right around there, all the way to the bottom. Exit on top, right here. I trimmed some contracts right at the pre-market open, which was right there, and you can see it started bouncing a little bit. I had an alert right around here. You can see that I created a green candle, trying to give it a little push up, but it didn't go too crazy. So I trimmed at 6 contracts. I trimmed 5 of them, left the runner, and the runner I got out at the end of the day. So I didn't swing any puts because I did want it to close below the section, and that could be our daily red candle back down to 399. That's exactly another low right there, back to 399. So far it's still valid. We could still short it, but this is the first time I actually came back to retest on the bigger time frame on the 1 hour. You see, so it's still creating a higher low. Higher low there is not going lower low. There's a higher low. If you want, what we want to see is this, and then drop. That'll be creating a lower low for the first time. This will be the low, higher low, and then we get a lower low. So we might get a little push tomorrow from Powell. It's just super simple. See, you just wait, and there will be your entries. Now let's check Amazon. Why did I swing Amazon? Amazon calls overnight. It was because we had a big level on the 4 hour. As you can see, on the 4 hour we had a big level right around here. This level, this is what brings the stock always up. You notice it jumps, goes back, and then it dropped lower. So now this one went like this, and I expected it to come back higher to this high that it created, and then flop down, creating basically an inverse head and shoulders. Basically, literally, you can see the inverse head and shoulders right there. It drops, goes back down, it could come back up flying. You needed to hold that level, but so far it's sold off so massively. It's still, this would have been a nice, great short, but we were swinging already. I wasn't expecting this drop. This was a nice evening star right there to drop back down to 94. I didn't want to go against the trend. Something we could do tomorrow is that this drops down, comes back to retouch, and then we take it back down. It'll probably go even lower. But so far, I'm gonna tell you guys on the swing. I entered calls below this entry because I saw that the stock was going up, went back up, and it held this position where there's buyers holding right around there. Saw it holding, so I entered. My position was this candle closed, this hammer candle. It closed in. I said go in light. We got in light on this candle. Then as soon as it broke out, that's when I added more to this position. Why? Because it held that 74.90.35, and I was like, you know what, it'll be nice to just hold it and come back all the way back up to the level 96.30, 96.69. And then what happened? Literally bounced on pre-market, came back up and opened. My exit for this one would have been below this, right? That would have been my stop. Actually, the other way around. Break even, because we had a swing. That would have been my break even bounce, but it kept going. I ended up trimming as soon as we got close to this 96.69. I trimmed around there. This is my first trimmed right there, first trim at this green bar. Took the trim just in case it just flushed, and there was our flush. I didn't get into any of those, but I did get into SPY. And then now we got the Nvidia. I got some Nvidia puts. The reason why I got Nvidia puts, I will show you also here. You'll notice that in this section between here and there, right, there's the demand, which was an older resistance. Older resistance there, and this level was supposed to break out. If we wanted to continue, see, create a higher low, higher high. Wanted to bounce there and then just move up forward. There's another level, I think in the 250s that I have, yeah, which is around there. One right here, 259. It never reached up there, which is now looks like it's creating a double top. If it stays inside here tomorrow, this will be literally considered a double top. See that? On the bigger time frame. That. On the bigger time frame, come back to retouch, and that will be basically a fake breakout on the bigger time frame, and it'll come back here. So far, this is our neckline right there. Put this yellow, and we got some Nvidia puts at the end of the day. Why? Because it held below that level. See that? It held below it. Right below on that call, on that play that we put. We got a put for let me see, let me show you guys. We got a 215.317 put at 1.60. It closed at 1.70, which is still good. The market went below this. I was like, you know what, worst case scenario that could happen is gonna break out, break above it, and then we could take calls. But so far, that's what I would want in pre-market, just to come back and flush and probably hold here, and to expect a little bounce, a little small bounce around this section, 232, 231. But at that point, we should be up at least like 70%. We got it all the way to March 17, which is not that bad. So this is what we want next. So if we didn't get in now, this is what you would want to take in for rejection, which is basically we close below the market open. That means it's lower. That means Nvidia closed negative. See, negative $3. That's what you want. That shows the stock is dropping and is getting weakness, showing weakness. Facebook looks minus 35. Let's check out Facebook. Facebook barely held this position. As you can see, also it's holding around here. So we might still get a bounce on Facebook. So far, tech is the weakest. AMD, let's check AMD also. Look, AMD held. So Nvidia, worst case scenario is that we get out with like a 10% loss. But our exit will be right above that 236 level. We will not lose a lot of money because we are swinging, and we can still take more in our entry there. We see a shooting star, something coming in. We should be set. Alright, then you guys, that's the recap for today and the setup that I got for the next week, which is this Nvidia. I wanted to reject there. and also SPY below 404, right below this level, to get it for puts. Take it back to get that daily red candle that I want, which is this whole position. I already drew it. This will be nice, a whole position down back there, and then maybe just give us a lower low, lower high, something like this, and then just keep flushing, which will create something like this, a bear flag. See that? Nice little bear flag to the upside. Something like that. Look, just predicting the market so far. If this happens, that would be a nice push down back to 399, and then come back to do this. And yeah, so far it's looking like that might happen. And there's my analysis for SPY for next week. Below 4, let's put it a little more lower, give it some more space. Below 40363, we could take this back down to 399. That's what that aggressive bounce came in. Alright, you guys, so stay safe. Tomorrow we got Powell, and this is my analysis for what's going on. And I do like swinging, not swinging, but having some day trades a little bit longer out to date, especially on SPY, because you don't have to worry about every 1 minute candle. You should look at the 15-minute candles, and it basically tells you the whole story. And you can see how the evening star came in on the 15-minute on SPY. Evening star there, usually a red one comes out. There's your red, another red, and it just continues down. Alright, you guys, I'm out. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.